You
Touch
ready?
chips if I want to. That's the first thing that as he hits go live.
Jeez.
Nice. This is a good start. Yeah, there we go.
Get the smoke on her. Hey,
Get another one. Oh wait, I gotta tell my friends.
you telling your friends
Yeah.
while we're live and everybody can see us?
Yes.
Oh, he's getting his friends list out, all 4 of them. Just kidding. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Pool Series event number 2 of the year here at Smokin Cue.
Let's go.
For our 10-ball event. I am Brandon Mullis.
I am Ricardo Gonzalez. My friends call me Rico.
Good morning, Rico. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right, Brandon. I am stoked about the matches today. This is the 10-ball tournament, right? The second tournament for the pool series of the year. Highly anticipated when when the advertisements first came out. I think within 2 days or something like that. Justin was already saying that we're full and have a wait list.
Oh, I think the waiting list had to be somewhere 10 to 15 people long after the first week of announcing. So, and then it was still getting longer after that.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the field today?
I love the field. I'm actually fired up about the field. Took my Flintstone vitamins, had a nice bowl of Honey Smacks this morning. I'm ready to rock and roll and ride all in the same process.
I missed that step.
You missed that step?
I want to be chugging Red Bulls all day.
Well, you got plenty of them behind the bar.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the field for a second. Give me your take. We got a couple of, well, it's more than a couple, but a couple in particular that are going to be out in the field today. Give me your. There's obviously players in this field that are stronger than others, but we've seen in all these months of doing pool series tons and tons of upsets, and that's what makes this so great. But Rico, without further ado, I'm going to start with my 7th and 8th place picks. Now,
Hit me.
This is I feel like one of the stronger fields I've picked, especially with 7th and 8th with these two guys. I'm going Eddie Little and Jeff Abernathy, both super strong players. They've been around the field for years and years. Pretty much anybody who plays pool knows exactly who these two guys are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people say, how do you have them 7th and 8th? I might be wrong. They might be 1 and 2 at the end of the day. They both have that capability. But, this is all, hindsight, of course, so we take it from there.
I would definitely say Jeff plays consistently more. Eddie his range of gears to catch is insane. So
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing. He's been talking about trying to get out more and practice more. And if he's doing that, then a lot of people are going to have some issues trying to play him today. So.
Well, my thing is the last 2 tournaments he's played, he has not had good results. And
Yeah.
Eddie's an honest guy, and he's honest with himself. So he'll be the first one to admit that. So a player like him, they play with pride, they play with their heart. I feel like he's going to come strong today.
Yeah, and that's totally within his wheelhouse.
Absolutely. All right, my 5th, 6th, we're going to go Jeff Pate, one of the Mr. Consistents I call in this field.
Yeah.
Always strong, especially later in the day. It's like his gear is the same at 10 o'clock at night as it is at 12 in the afternoon.
Yeah. The hardest part is the acceleration. You ever play Bowser in Mario Kart?
Of course.
Okay, so top speed, fastest guy on the track once he gets to top speed. But that acceleration that's where you got to get him, or else you're going to be blown away.
Absolutely. I'm 100% with that. My other 5th, 6th pick is Mr. Viandy Santos. Now, this is a guy who wouldn't shock me in the least if he ended up number 1. I mean, he has played in so many tough matches against so many tough opponents. Been in the 1-2 seat many times in many events. Wouldn't shock me in the least. Number 4, we're going to go Renal Bat, the Batman. Renal pretty much brings his game every single time. Now, this is also the same type of player, because Rico and I have watched this, who can go into the B-side after his first match and then just tear through the whole B-side.
And the entire time frustrated with himself that he made it to the B-side.
Oh, just angry.
Yeah. Like, there's just, I mean, he's a strong, silent type. So
yes.
He takes it out on whoever he's against, which is, I mean, he's such a good shot.
All right, and my 3rd place pick, and I feel kind of silly because I didn't even pick him in the top 8 in the last tournament, and he got 2nd. And this is another guy that could get number 1, but I'm not doubting this guy anymore.
Yeah.
Mr. David the Machine Anderson, just all-around great player. What do you think he'd be like if he actually practiced? I mean,
okay, so it's a very common stereotype when you talk to a pool player and then say, "Oh, I haven't played in 4 months," and you talk to somebody else, you'd be like, "Yeah, I saw him here like 2 weeks. I saw him in here playing 2 weeks ago." Dave is a family man,
yes,
right?
He
like
is.
He's got a wife and he's got a career and everything, and he legitimately would show up for just big tournaments and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna play," or Masters, right? That was it. Masters by itself is once a month, and that's if he played, right?
Right.
This Masters season, he's actually showing up, once a month. I don't think last one he was on the team or he wasn't playing consistently. But every single time he shows up, like his bottom gear is the top gear for like 90% of the people in this.
Oh, that's the absolute truth. We have watched this guy for years, Rico, just do magic on the table.
And he's a funny guy.
He is. I love him. I'm glad he's here because of who he is more than a pool player. So glad he is here.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The top 2.
Yeah. This is
two guys.
I think everybody's in the same consensus. It's just a coin flip as to who's getting who.
It's all right. And remember, it's only a race to 3, 2 out of 3 sets. Now, would it shock me if neither of these guys were in the top 2? Yeah, a little, but it's still possible. So I'm not just going to write them in there immediately. Number 2, Mike Davis Jr., Moscone Mike. Once a Moscone member, always a Moscone member.
Iron Moscone. He goes
Iron Moscone Mike. I love it. That's it.
We're gonna combine those.
For anybody who hasn't watched this guy, and I don't think there's that many people who haven't, but just in case, I'm sure we're going to get him on the stream table at least 2 or 3 times today. Check out what good pool looks like.
Oh my God.
I got a good feeling he'll be down here at the end.
Yeah, and he's been literally on top of the world in reference to pool in the U.S. being on the Moscone Cup team. So this guy's literally made out of iron.
He is. He is.
Insane.
And number 1, first place, in my personal opinion, the best player in the state of North Carolina.
Mhm.
And that's still a debatable topic, but I'll be glad to debate it with anybody. Probably the hottest player in North Carolina, and maybe even in the Southeast,
Yeah.
B.J. Usry. Mr. Should have been on the Moscone Cup for one for a couple of, you know, hey, there's a fearless leader right behind us waving in.
Just in time to go over his list.
That's all. That's all politics. That's all whatever on that. I feel like he should have been on there, but that's beside the point. I feel like with the strength of his game, and he is a stayer. He is that guy who at 2 in the morning will play just like he did at 12 in the afternoon. I'm going B.J. Usry. Rico, what do you think of my picks?
I mean, I think it's strong, and we definitely see some overlapping items in reference to uh, who we see in the top 8 here, right? So it's just more of a shuffle as to who's going to get what specific place, but I think everybody's well aware of who the stronger players are. The top 2, I think it's always the most interesting, especially with this field, right? Because it always is. If BJ shows up, if Mike Davis shows up, I have no idea what their play schedules are. I know BJ's always playing. Mike Davis is like consistent. I mean, I'm pretty sure he could fall asleep for 6 months and still come out shooting better than 99% of the people in North Carolina. So
yeah, that's truth.
I mean, that's the God's honest truth. Do you have any dark horses?
Yes, I do. I have.
Tell
Now,
me
these
about
are
that.
dark horses to get into the money, not to win.
Okay.
Okay, my
That's good.
first
I like
dark
those.
horse, I'm going Jacob Blake.
Yes.
Good player.
Yeah.
Really good player when he wants to be. He's strong. He plays a lot, plays all the time. Going out of town to a lot of tournaments, so he's getting a lot of tournament toughness in there.
And he's relatively new to the scene. He started playing 2-3 years ago, but this guy literally breathes, eats, and sleeps pool now, which is I love to see it because I went through that phase when I was younger, and
Same
you
here.
definitely get a lot of seasoning, and your acceleration is insane.
Absolutely, and he's going to be fun to watch. Hope he's on the TV table today. Hope to stream him. We'll see. All right, pick dark horse number 2. This is a pick that a lot of people may not know the guy, but I've had the privilege to get to know him, and I know he's a good player. Kevin Candido. As far as
Familiar with him.
not familiar. He plays at the Irish Q. I played him in the MVP last year, and we played in the 3rd place match, and he ended up getting me. I had to spot him 10 balls, but he still got me outright either way.
That
so
sounds about right.
didn't make a big difference. Good player. He's a good. Doesn't try to do too much. And I don't know a lot about his tournament game, but I know he shoots the ball straight, and I feel like he's going to be in the mix today for sure. And then my 3rd dark horse is Mr. John Horton. I don't know. I just trust him. I just trust him in this situation. He's a little bit older. Been playing a long, long time. He, like the other guys, played a lot of tournaments. I don't know if he's playing as much now, but I know in his younger years he was gone every weekend to a tournament. So those are going to be my dark horses. I'm sure that I've missed some names, but I can only pick 3, and that's who I went with.
Yeah, I would just have 1 or 2, and I'm glad that you got more because I love hearing about these players that I'm not too familiar with. Let's go ahead and transition. You're going to hear a lot of similar names.
All right.
And I like to pick them. I like to show. Well, I won't get into it, but so starting from the bottom, right? So we got 7, 8. I actually have Brower and Abernathy. So Chris Brower and Jeff Abernathy. Abernathy literally shows up. He's probably one of the more consistent players. He always consistently plays at a high level. If anything, where he tends to lag a little bit, I would say, is when he plays high-level players and he just has a moment where he just trips up a little bit. And, of course, if you're playing a high-level player, they're high-level because they make you pay. But
Absolutely.
he absolutely can go up a few more places here. He's absolutely capable of it. And that's just where I think he's going to fall right now, where I've seen him playing in the last couple of times that I have seen him.
I like it.
Chris Brower.
Okay.
This kid is
man.
he's a monstrosity. so from his bull playing abilities, I love watching him play when he shows up because he's another type of player that has been playing a lot recently. And when he shows up, I see nothing but heart and when he comes on the table, he leaves everything on the table, and he is absolutely capable of catching some gears that are just insane.
Absolutely.
So I think he easily could take a 7-8 here. 5-6. I have Jeff Pate and Viandy Santos, right? So Viandy's another high flyer, frequent flyer here in the Charlotte area. Every time he plays, he has. I would say his level of play is very a little bit more volatile, like meaning that the gears that he can reach are higher. Like let's say, I would say that my range is like 1 or 2 gears above or below what I average. What I average. He can get 3, 4 gears above what he averages, right?
He's an aggressive player.
Yeah. So if he's on, he absolutely can hit the 5-6 mark here. Jeff Pate, we talked about him before. If he makes it to the late game here, he's a monster. In the twilight hours, right?
Yes.
2, he does usually another trigger point aside from being late night is if he makes it to the B side. I mean, he is. I think he's the definition of a grinder when it comes to anybody on this field, right?
It's just tough. I mean, he is a different breed of toughness.
Yeah, it's insane. I love watching him play for that.
Yes.
I like watching him climb. Like every he just has to travel the world and beat people, and then he'll be over me, which he's totally capable of doing. Number 2, apparently this is controversial considering everybody else. I think BJ Ussery is going to come here in second place. This is the man who double dipped Efren Reyes.
Yes,
and then
and Roland Garcia.
Yes, exactly. So obviously, and he's always playing, and then he came back from Vietnam or something like that. He's already traveling international. He's a monster. And then number 1, I have Iron Mike Davis, or Mosconi Mike as we like to call him. I mean, this guy is a legend, right? Like I grew up watching him play in the Mosconi team. I would say a very unorthodox stroke, but it's great to watch because of how precise he is with his shots. I gotta give it to Mike Davis every time he shows up. He's a monster. I mean, that's 1 and 2 there.
I think those are good calls, and we are going. So I mean, I think the top two. I think all 8 are good calls, but top 2 I feel like are going to be pretty consistent. I feel like
I'm already
99%.
looking forward to that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's gonna be a monstrosity
It's
of a
going to be a
match.
long but wonderful day. So, listen, everybody, we have to wrap this up. Thank you for those who tuned into the pre-show or who are going to watch it later. Hope you have fun watching the stream events today. We're going to be on the call for majority of them.
Yeah, when we're not playing.
When we're not playing. So
it's going to be a great match. I mean, it's going to be a great tournament in general. We're going to start here in a little bit. Stay tuned and just be on the lookout for that notification and tell your friends.
Absolutely.
We're going to have a great time here today.
All right. Until the next time, gentlemen.
See you later.
And ladies.